Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about a mistake I made. I went from my trusty old Sanwa M12S to a KO Propo EX Next. Now my idea was to I wanted that lay down trigger. I was really excited about that, wanted to try it. Got the radio and couldn't do it, couldn't make it work. So I changed to the regular trigger, thought I'd try that. I bought every option I could, and the radio seemed to be just too twitchy and hard to drive. Now, the only thing I can come up with is there's some sort of compatibility issue with the servos I had. I run the SRT servos, and only way I would have found out that out was to buy the KO servos, which would have been a huge investment I wasn't going to do. So I struggled. I really struggled with it. I went to SIC, couldn't drive. The car was too hard to drive. I tried every setting in the world. I gave it the biggest chance I could. I never got comfortable with it. I don't know if it was that. I don't know if it was the servos. I don't know what the problem was. But I talked to Jared Tebow. He said it should be smooth, if anything smoother. So right after that race, I got really thinking about it, and I said, well, I'm going to make a change. I got to do something. I want to be comfortable like I was before. So this video, I'm just going to explain that what I did is I went and bought a used M12S, and now I feel back the same way I did before. It's so much easier to drive. I'm more comfortable with it. It feels good in my hand. There's nothing wrong with the KO radio. It's good. I wasn't comfortable with it. I couldn't get it set up right. I got tired of fooling with it. Didn't want to invest any more money in it. So I'm back with my trusty old M12S. So in this video, I'm going to go through a few settings. I got a couple of cars programmed in here. I got my Nitro buggy, my E-buggy, my four-wheel drive mod buggy, and my Spec Slash. So I'm going to flip through the settings on each one and show you how I've got them set up. And one thing I do like about this radio that I never got set up with the other one is I've got the Clinic RC wireless charger. So you put your LiPo battery in just like normal, and you got this Clinic pad that you hooks up to the balance port, goes in the radio. I'm using the Ultimate 2500 2S LiPo in mine. Been great so far. So let's see if I can get this back in there. So you simply put your charging pad in there. Takes a little doing. I had to go off screen because I had it in there wrong trying to do it on the video. But you just put it on top of the battery. Put it back like normal. Set it on the charging pad. The little blue light comes on, and it's charging. All right. So next up, I'm going to go through some settings on my radio. Okay, so here we go. First off, I wanted to show you one setting on this radio that I really missed when I had the KO that I like again. I forget what the feature's called. I'll have to look it up. You can set it 3 different channels to where you hold the button this way, or hold this one down. As you're turning it on, it turns up to 3 models on. So what I do, I hold this back, turn the switch on, let go. Comes up Nitro buggy. That's what I've got saved. So turn it back off, hold it this way, turn the button on, let go, and you got E-buggy. Turn it off, hold this button down, turn it on, let go, and you got Wheeler. So that's just a quick way on how I like to turn it on. You know, the rest of them, I got VRC Pro on there. I've got my Spec Slash on there. So I have to go through model settings like normal to get that. So since we're on Wheeler, we'll go ahead and flip through it. So let's see. Go and set up. There's the EPA settings. Of course, that's, you know, different on every car. Let's see. I want to go to racing. Speed settings, I got minus 15%. These SRT servos are pretty fast, so I have to calm it down a little bit, and I dial them in. This is just how I got it set on that one. Curve, Expo, steering, I don't have anything. Let's click on that. Steering, there's nothing. Throttle, I've got minus 10% on the high throttle to kind of calm it down, the initial throttle input. That's pretty much all the settings I got for that one. Let's go back. Let's check out the nitro buggy. So let's switch over here to racing. Curve. So on the steering curve, I got minus 20%. And on the throttle, high throttle, I got minus 10%. On the brake, I got minus 10%. Okay, let's go back. See if I can find the speed. Minus 10%, similar to the Wheeler. So that's pretty much all I change on that. All right, so let's go to Wheeler, or otherwise known as four-wheel drive mod. Oh, I already did that one. We got to go e-buggy. Okay, racing. Curve. Exponential on steering is minus 20%. Exponential on throttle is minus 25%. Now I've also got the speed control turned way down on that one. Not on the Wheeler. I need a little more punch over a couple of little jumps. But I have the punch in the ESC about somewhere out in the middle, little lower than, maybe a little lower than halfway. I'd have to look that up. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's find the speed. The speed is the same, minus 10%. All right, so I should have turned that off. Let's go. I gotta find the model. Only other one left is really, well, select. See, I got Spec Slash and VRC Pro. VRC Pro is pretty much set everything at 0 factory settings because I use the settings in the computer to adjust it. So we're gonna switch to the Spec Slash. Let's see where we got the stuff on it. Curve. Okay, I changed the arc on this one, so at 18% throttle, I've got it minus 30% to take some of that hit out because it's two-wheel drive. It just ended up making it easier to drive. I spent a lot of time setting that up. Worked out just right for the setup I've got. So at 18% throttle, we got minus 30% expo. Nothing on the steering. The steering is so slow on those things. It needs a little more speed, so I don't really do anything to that. So let's see. I don't think I got anything on speed. Yeah, it's 0 on speed. So anyway, that's pretty much my settings. Okay, there you have it. There's the settings for my radio, and the reason I changed back to Sanwa, I just like it. Now, there is an M17 is the most current model of the Sanwa radio. It's pretty expensive, and quite honestly, a lot of people have told me they've had some issues with it, so I never really made that change. Not to mention, I don't have the money for it anyway. This radio is a fine radio. A lot of the top pros still use it. That's what I prefer. There's an M12, an M12S, and an M12 RS. I think there's a few less features in the RS. I'm not real familiar with it, but I had an M12, and I switched over to one of these because I got a good deal on it. Can't tell a bit of difference. There is one speed setting that's faster. I think it's called 5S, or no, HS. They got the speeds of the latency is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5S, and then there's HS on the 12S. The 12 goes up to 5S, and my 12S my M12S is set at 5S. Calms it down. The HS is a little too fast for the old man, you know. So I like the 5S. The M12, I ran it at 5S too. It's pretty much the same radio. So I would not hesitate to buy a used M12. Pretty sure the 12RS has the same settings, same speed. The 12S is great too. So, and the cool thing now is everybody's buying the new M17. You can get these at a great deal right now. I paid $165 for this. Now the receivers are high. I did some wheeling and dealing, bought a couple of new ones. I sold my KO for enough to buy a couple of receivers, and I bought a couple of used ones. So I would not hesitate to buy this one at all. Now, as far as receivers go, in the e-buggy and nitro buggy, they scale use a RX 472. In the wheeler, I use those because it's got the antenna on it, and you know, just in case you get it out farther. On the wheeler, you can't really put an antenna on it, so I use the antennaless RX 482. So I just love the Sanwa. There's nothing wrong with the KO. A lot of people prefer it. I love the radio. I just couldn't make it work for me. So I got this radio, got it all set up, instantly was back to my old self. I thought for a while, I just couldn't drive anymore. I went to SIC and didn't know it at the time, but a couple of days afterwards I come back and had COVID. So my brain was a little foggy, and I even told the pit chick that I couldn't focus. I couldn't focus on what I needed to do. The car was just, I couldn't even think right. So I think there was some beginning effects of that, plus the radio issue I was having. I just had a terrible weekend. I still had fun, but when I got back, I immediately decided that, hey, I got to go back to Sanwa, and I'm glad I did. So again, the radio was nice. I liked it. I wanted to make it work. I tried. I spent a lot of money trying to make it work, and it just wasn't for me. So now I feel like my old self, and the pit chick has warned me that I'm not allowed to change radio ever again, and as long as I keep this working and can keep one of these, that's what I'm going to do. And I hope you enjoyed the video and hope it helps you out. Please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to, I've recently did some shorts, and pit chick's video is up to 1.5 million views now, which is pretty awesome. But I've got, my subscribers are growing, and I just need to get some more watch hours. So please help me out as much as you can. I'm trying to get this YouTube channel growing. I'm going to do more and more content, and the pit chick is all fired up about it. She wants to help. So stay tuned for more, and see you next time.